Hello and welcome to the Tsitsi Mafuta podcast. I'm your host, Tsitsi Mafuta. Today's conversation is going to be about the New York Knicks. Today's conversation is going to be about the New York Knicks organization. And the question I have is, are the New York Knicks a winning organization? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Are the New York Knicks a winning organization? Now, for the past week and a half, the New York Knicks are under investigation from the NBA for tampering. The New York Knicks have signed a player named Jalen Brunson for $26 million a year for 4 years. If you are not familiar with his name, well, now you are going to be familiar with his name because the New York Knicks organization are paying him $26 million a year for 4 years. But if you're familiar with if you're a fan of the Dallas Mavericks, then you might be familiar with Jalen Brunson, the name Jalen Brunson. Now, the reason why they're under investigation for tampering is because I'm going to break it down to you. And you, the listener, can, decide on your own. Now, I cannot make this up. The owner of the New York Knicks, his name is James Dolan. James Dolan hired Jalen Brunson's father as an assistant coach of the New York Knicks. And then James Dolan's son is the agent of Jalen Brunson. Are you with me, ladies and gentlemen? Are you with me? So, James Dolan's son is the agent of Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson's father is an assistant coach of the New York Knicks. So you see what happened there. Nepotism. But I don't have a problem with nepotism as long as people who are hired then do their job. I only have a problem with nepotism when the people that hire don't do their job or are not qualified for the positions that they are given due to privilege and proximity. Is Jalen Brunson an elite talent? Basketball talent? No, he's not. Is he a tier 1? No. Is he a tier 2? No. Tier 3? Possibly now. Because he's being paid $26 million a year. So yes, he's a tier 3 talent. Now for New York fans, some of you are probably furious because some of you may not even know, you didn't even know who this guy was. You didn't even know who Jalen Brunson was up until now when he got signed for $26 million a year. I absolutely feel for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks have not won a championship since the early 70s. The New York Knicks, the last time they were at the conference, they won a conference title was in 1990. 1990. That was the last time the New York Knicks won a conference title. Now, when you hear the name New York Knicks, some of you might think it's actually a winning organization if you're not a basketball fan. Why? Because of the apparel. The New York Knicks are a global brand. They are a global brand. They're definitely in the top 5 NBA global brands, but they're not a winning organization. Respectfully speaking, the New York Knicks are not a winning organization. Now, you have to ask yourself, every time the New York Knicks have money on the books, why is it they cannot attract top tier talent? Why? Seriously, that is a question. Why is it the New York Knicks cannot attract top tier talent? Like James Dolan, in all honesty, respectfully, he has to be one of the worst owners or one of the worst business individuals. Like, if I'm being honest, why? The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm only speaking basketball wise, because we all know the New York Knicks do make money. Bottom line was, but because they're based in New York, the Mecca, it is the capital of the United States. The New York Knicks are based in the biggest city in America. The New York Knicks, I don't think they have a problem filling out seats. And that is why they get away with not focusing on attracting top tier talent. So they're literally robbing the New York Knicks fans who spend, some of their fans who spend close to $1,000 to $2,000 on merch, on apparel. And yet, they have not tasted, not even a whiff of a semi-playoff game. They haven't in a long time. Now, the last talent, okay, some people are going to say, oh, what about Carmelo Anthony? Okay, let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, I think Maya Stoudemire, and there was J.R. Smith there. Yeah, but they did what they did. Carmelo went there for the money. He didn't go there to win. He went there for the money. He didn't go there to win. We all know if Melo, that's another thing. He went there for the money. I mean, and then after that, what happened? Then they signed, who was it? Dennis Smith Jr. What happened to him? I think he went to the G League or something. And then they signed Julius Randle. He's a good player. Julius Randle is a good player. But is he a franchise player? Is he a top two, a tier 2 or tier 1 player? No, I don't think so. I guess maybe depending on who you ask, he might get into someone's top tier 2 players who are currently playing in the NBA. Now, I think the board of the New York Knicks, of Madison Square, they seriously need to start putting some respect on their fans. I think they really need to start doing that. Because by signing James Brunson as their franchise player, who literally is a good player, but he's not a wow player for now. But now he's going to be paid $26 million. He's going to be spending money on his body and on hiring the right people to help him work on his game. Maybe that's when he might be in a tier 3 or tier 2 and currently playing NBA players. But James Dolan really, 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 really needs to put some respect on the New York Knicks fans. And the board needs to put pressure on him. You have the brand, but you're not a winning organization. The Milwaukee Bucks won a championship before the New York Knicks within the last 20 years. The Toronto Raptors won a championship. The Cleveland Cavaliers won a championship. I'm talking about small markets here. And this is a big market team, and they are unable to win a championship. You would think by now, because they've made so many errors in signing the wrong people, the wrong talent, or they're just desperate just to offload money. You would think, okay, fine. We've been doing this wrong. How about we draft well, develop players, and see how that one goes? They're even failing at that, of drafting well. They're actually failing at that. They are failing at that. That means they need to, respectfully, they need to clean the house, clean management, clean the recruiters, get new recruiters who are absolutely good at their jobs. They really need to do that. Because this, I mean, are they going to be in the playoffs this coming season? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will. In all honesty, I can think of two players off top who they could have signed if they consider signing supporting cast as to be a franchise player, like PJ Tucker. They could have signed PJ Tucker and gave him the $26 million. If we're being honest, they could have signed PJ Tucker. They could have signed Dennis Schroeder for $26 million. Like, PJ Tucker is a champion. If you're going to be signing, like, PJ Tucker is a champion. We've seen what he did in Houston, in Milwaukee, and Miami Heat. We've seen what he's done. So PJ Tucker is a champion. They could have signed him. They could have given him that $26 million. And it would be less of a blow because they got a champion as a franchise player. Jalen Brunson? I don't know. New York Knicks fans, I feel for you. I honestly do. I honestly do. It's heartbreaking. You are a global brand, but you don't have the winning DNA. You're not a winning organization, unfortunately. The owners are not, yes, they're making money, but imagine if they were making money and winning at the same time. Wow. And I know there was this rumor that like, let's say players like LeBron, KD, they don't want to go to New York because of the pressure. Let's be honest. If LeBron James, I think the reason why some of these players refuse to go to the New York Knicks is because they don't trust James Dolan or the management to get the right players to surround them in order to compete for a title. I think that's one of the reasons why they refuse to go there, because they cannot trust James Dolan and his management. They go there, and we all know, let's say someone like LeBron James. LeBron James, when he gets there, he's already has a presence himself. He has a big presence. And when he gets there, we all know LeBron James calls the shots. Because if he's there to win a title, compete for a title. And he would require you to make certain moves in order to surround him with the supporting cast in order to compete. I'm sure it's the same thing with Kevin Durant. But James Dolan cannot be trusted. Because I guess for James Dolan, as long as my bottom line is cool, I really don't care. I really don't care. So, New York Knicks fans, I feel for you guys. I absolutely feel for you guys. Like, I really do. You guys, in all honesty, until James Dolan changes his style of management, you guys will never whiff a championship in a century. Maybe it's too extreme, but yeah, within the next century. I'm going to leave off with a quote by one of my favorite thinkers, Nassim Taleb. Nassim Taleb has this quote that says that, what's this? What America does best is produce the ability to accept failure. What America does best is produce the ability to accept failure. James Dolan has produced failure, and the New York Knicks fans have the ability to accept it. They've been accepting it since the 70s and since 1990. Dissect it how you want, but that's what I think. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think the New York Knicks are a winning organization? Let me know your thoughts. Would really love to know your thoughts, especially from New York Knicks fans. I'm your host, Titi Mafuta, from the Titi Mafuta podcast. Ndiyo.